Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. Today, it's Monday, means we need to get into the most recent Eagles news and rumors. Over the weekend, a busy weekend. We had Nick Sirianni's press conference on Friday. I'll talk about that in a second. He spoke to the morning show, 94 WIP today, and then there's more details on Carson Wentz. And we'll go ahead and start with Carson Wentz and Wentz's happiness. Let's talk about happiness right now on a Monday here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. So the report right now that even with the new head coaching changes and all this stuff Philadelphia has done the past week and a half, Wentz is still not happy to be an Eagle. And that kind of compounds onto a new report saying that he is still very tradable. And so the future of Carson Wentz remains essentially up in the air as we continue to monitor it and discuss it. And I think Stafford, the trade for Matthew Stafford has kind of changed some things as well. We'll talk about that here in 1 second. First, the Ian Rapoport quote on 94 WIP, the Eagle flagship intercom station in Philadelphia, is interesting. Let's start with that. Quote, but these contracts are all tradable. It would be a dead money hit, but then the Eagles would also save because they wouldn't have to pay the cash. Carson Wentz is very tradable. Or they want to, or where they want to fix him and try to make good on their investment. That's a different story. Someone is going to look at Carson Wentz and say, up until the first half of the Washington game, this was a good quarterback. And again, this is something that we've talked about a lot here on not only the channel, but just at a whole position on Philadelphia Eagles Now. The question is, do you trade him or do you keep him? And Ian Rapoport at least likes to suggest that it's still a very tradable contract, despite what some other people have said in the past. And I've said before myself, it's a very tradable contract, and you can do it if you want to. I'll ask you guys this, though. Will Carson Wentz be an Eagle? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. There'll be a pinned comment right there. Will he be an Eagle in 2021? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, the Matthew Stafford trade changes things. And it changes things, I think, against the idea of trading Carson Wentz. So, of course, Stafford traded this weekend, 2 first-round draft picks plus Jared Goff. It was a lot to go ahead and move the Pro Bowler over to the LA Rams. And I think if you are trying to get the Eagles to trade Carson Wentz, this does not look good. Because I don't think a team wants to take a look at the Stafford trade and then go over to the Philadelphia Eagles and say, hey, we'll give you, a first and a second or just a second-round draft pick. I think the price on Carson Wentz is relatively unknown because there might be some people out there who think it'll be a first-round plus more because he was, former Pro Bowl quarterback and a former, number 2 overall pick, and others who say the upside for Stafford is a lot bigger than Carson Wentz. And so it changes things in terms of what Philadelphia could do at the trade market, but it also takes one of the quarterbacks off of the trade market. And I think that if you were hoping to trade Carson Wentz, you would do it earlier rather than later because teams are going to pick away the quarterbacks they want first. The fact that Stafford went ahead of Carson Wentz shows that more teams were interested in Matthew Stafford. Up to 8 teams try to trade for Matthew Stafford. So what do we do with the Stafford trade as a whole? I think it's an indication, again, teams are looking elsewhere. They want more of an established veteran versus a Carson Wentz who is a veteran. By all means, 4 or 5 years in the league, but not exactly the veteran, I don't want to say leadership, but when you look at Stafford from an LA Ram perspective, they wanted somebody who has plenty of, seasons underneath his belt. They know what they're getting, and teams don't know what they're getting out of Carson Wentz, and that creates a little bit of trouble if you're trying to get rid of Carson Wentz, which I've said plenty of times. I am not in favor of giving away to Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz will be staying, but as we do on Philadelphia Eagles Now, we keep an eye on Carson Wentz and the news, and this is the most recent stuff coming out of the Eagles. Okay, quickly, chatsports.com/EaglesBet, promo code Eagles125. That is the place to go to bet where Carson Wentz is going to be in 2021. Not only just Super Bowl bets and NBA bets and MLB bets coming up, but right now, the Wentz 2021 team odds as of last week continue to show Philadelphia as the favorite, -130. The Colts plus 325. The Bears and Patriots and Broncos are all in there as well. Reportedly, the Bears and Patriots or Bears and Broncos all and Colts as well. We're all looking at Matthew Stafford, so maybe that trade becomes true. But as we continue to show you guys, bet with it at our friends at BetUS. Eagles125, the promo code, as right now Philadelphia remains the odds-on favorite, as we've told you here plenty of times on Philadelphia Eagles. Now, okay. Let's move over to some Joe Banner discussion about drafting a quarterback at number 6 overall. I've been asked this in mailbag videos about drafting a quarterback at number 6. And each time I say, guys, there's no way Philadelphia takes a quarterback at number 6. That would be the dumbest thing ever. And yet here we are, former president of the Philadelphia Eagles, Joe Banner, thinks the Eagles could go quarterback at number 6. He would not rule it out. And to me, it just creates even more problems because, one, you have Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. And so let's say you traded Wentz. You don't then draft a quarterback at 6 because you're just going to keep Jalen Hurts as a backup? You're not going to trade both of them this offseason. It's an absolute mess. And yet here we go. Joe Banner on drafting a quarterback. Quote, I'm not predicting they will. I don't think they will. Okay, well, that's good. But I would absolutely not take it off the table. Listen, here's what I know for sure. They correctly believe that by a wide margin, the single most important thing for you to have is a difference-making quarterback. They may think that they're not sure about Carson and have some hope about Hurts, but they don't know. They're sitting at number 6. They can get to a spot where they have a quarterback that they're evaluating and saying, we think this guy is going to be a star quarterback. I absolutely think they would look at that seriously. Okay, now again, credit to Joe Banner. He said at the beginning, I don't think that they will, but then he goes on to say he should, at least they should, seriously think about taking a quarterback at number 6 overall. Like the video if you guys think drafting a quarterback at number 6 overall is like the dumbest thing you ever heard. If that is just like ridiculous, give this video a thumbs up right now because I would agree. There's no way they go ahead and even think about drafting a quarterback at number 5 or number 6 overall because of all the other needs that they have. Now, if you wanted to know which quarterbacks will be available at number 6, take a look at my big board. I think Fields and Lawrence will be gone, but if you wanted somebody at 6, I guess you go for Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, or Trey Lance, but do we really want that? No Eagle fan wants that at all, and I think we can just put this to bed and not talk about it anymore. The Eagles would not take a quarterback at number 6. Again, you would have to trade Wentz and trade Hurts, and you have to find, trade partners to do that, and then love a quarterback so much, which would not be Wilson or Lawrence or Fields or Lawrence because, they're going to be gone by number 6. You have to fall in love with Zach Wilson or Mac Jones or Trey Lance and then rebuild up the roster around a rookie quarterback. It's not going to happen. They have way bigger needs. We've talked about them: wide receiver, linebacker, corner, defensive end. Maybe on the case offensive line is on the need right there, but they have tons of other options at number 6, which again tells me there is no chance and no way on this earth that Philadelphia goes out there and drafts a quarterback. And so, even though it's ridiculous, we still got to mention that Joe Banner mentioned it because there are people who DM me all the time on my Twitter account, @RealThomasMod, asking, what about a quarterback? And the answer remains the same. Once and for all, no quarterback should be taken or will be taken at number 6. Okay, make sure you guys are subscribed, though, because plenty more draft coverage is coming up. We did a great draft video last week on some, 10 options at number 6 overall, and you can go back and watch that and see that no quarterback is on that list, and rightfully so. So make sure you guys, again, are subscribed, because we have plenty of more videos coming up in the coming days and weeks. Okay. Let's finish on this. So Nick Sirianni had his press conference on Friday, right? His introductory press conference where he speaks to the media and they ask him his first questions and he gets all the details and his thoughts on the state of the team. There's a 30-second viral Twitter clip running around right now of Nick Sirianni fumbling through a prepared statement. He's reading a statement and yet trying to explain the statement and fumbling through it. Again, it went viral on Twitter. You can just look it up. I'm sure you're going to go ahead and find it. But essentially, it had people furious on Twitter saying Philadelphia hired the worst head coach, of the 7, and that they should have hired other head coaches like Eric Bieniemy, and that Nick Sirianni is an idiot very clearly by reading this, by watching this viral clip. Okay, stop. Dogging Nick Sirianni is one of the most immature things I've seen on Twitter recently, and there's a lot of immature things on Twitter. If you think, and you might be an Eagles fan who saw the Twitter clip and are upset about Nick Sirianni, or you're like me and you want to defend him, either way, if you think that 30 seconds of what was a 30-minute press conference is enough to indict Nick Sirianni as being, the wrong hire, a bad head coach, do you even watch football? Does that even make sense? Go back 2 years. Matt LaFleur, right, the rookie head coach of the Green Bay Packers, his introductory press conference. He fumbled through a 30-second prepared statement, and people ripped him for it. I went back on my Twitter account and pointed out that Colin Cowherd said it was the worst hiring of the lot back in 2018, and yet where are we, right? Obviously Matt LaFleur, great head coach, 28-8, great in the postseason. Should have went for a touchdown in the divisional in the NFC title game, but still, he's been great. You cannot judge a new head coach on anything but wins and losses. And guess what? Most of these guys have not been head coaches before, including Nick Sirianni, and so the only way that we can judge him is based on whether he wins games in 2021 or not. So a year from now, we can come back here and judge how good Nick Sirianni was as a rookie. But to sit here and essentially say he's a bad head coach based on a 30-second prepared statement is the dumbest thing that I have ever said. Like the video if you guys agree with me on this. If this is just ridiculous that we even need to bring up the fact that people were upset about this, it's just so annoying. Again, leave this video a thumbs up right now. We will judge Nick Sirianni on wins and losses, and that remains my official statement and point on this. Do not sit there as one of the Twitter trolls saying that the Eagles should have hired Eric Bieniemy or Brian Dable or anybody else just based on the fact that 30-second Twitter clip is circulating showing that he wasn't as well-polished as a speaker as he should be. The Eagles did not hire Nick Sirianni to be a well-polished speaker in front of the media. Most coaches aren't. You actually watch most post-game press conferences, as I do in the National Football League. They're not great orators. They're great orators inside their own locker room, but not in front of a camera talking about, the current state of the Philadelphia Eagles. And let's be real. Nick Sirianni has a tough job right now. He has a locker room that seems a little bit divided. He has an owner and a GM that are a little bit power hungry, and a quarterback situation that we continue to talk about on a daily basis here because it's tough to navigate with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. We will judge Nick Sirianni on wins and losses, and until we get to see wins or losses, we have no indication on how good he will be, no indication how good the Texans' new head coach, the Lions head coach, the Jaguars, none of these guys, you don't know how they're going to be until we wait and see. Remember, Doug Peterson was rated the worst hire by NFL Network, 4 or 5 years ago, back in 2016. He turned out to be the winningest head coach of the group, won a Super Bowl, went to the postseason 3 straight years. He's fired now, but still, it's very, very, I think, dumb and ignorant to go ahead and grade a guy on his first introductory press conference. By the way, he was on the morning show on 94 WIP this morning, spoke for like 10, 15 minutes to Angela Cataldi, and spoke great. And he did an Eagles interview on Eagles.com the night before his introductory press conference with Dave Spadaro and was great as well. So just get off of Nick Sirianni's back. Let the guy just figure things out. Let him start coaching. And then once he becomes a head coach in terms of actually playing games, then we'll know whether it's for better or for worse with wins and losses. There you go. That's my rant on Nick Sirianni. People were so annoying here on Twitter this offseason because it's just like, we're really going to dog this guy for a little Twitter clip, but they did, and we got to address it. Are you guys worried about Nick Sirianni at all? Like, literally at all. Type 1 down below for yes, type 2 down below for no. If you're worried, I understand maybe a little bit because he is a rookie head coach and he's young, but don't be worried based on the press conference. Be worried based on the Carson Wentz discussion versus actually can the guy speak to the media and the very first time he's ever done that from a head coaching perspective. Unbelievable. Okay, ultimately out for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Plenty of more news and rumors coming up in the days and weeks, so stay tuned for that as we cover Philadelphia wall-to-wall here. Basically, every single week, making sure you guys are up to date on the latest Eagles news and rumors. Again, ultimately out for today on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott. Stay safe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, plenty more to come. Make sure you guys are subscribed and enjoy the rest of your day.